you ever wonder what makes up everything around us? Is it unicorn magic, pixie dust, or something else entirely? You know, the stuff we use every day, like pencils, tables, the food you eat, your clothes, your phone, and even your annoying siblings. Well, to burst your bubble, it's all a matter of matter. And today, we're diving into the world of matter to learn about its characteristics and classifications. Let's begin by exploring the early and modern classification of matter. In ancient times, Indian philosophers classified matter into 5 basic elements: the Panch Tattva, air, earth, fire, sky, and water. According to them, everything in the universe, whether living or non-living, was made up of these 5 elements. Fast forward to modern times, and scientists have evolved to types of classification of matter based on their physical and chemical properties. In this lesson, we will be focusing on matter based on its physical properties. Now that we understand how matter has been classified in the past and present, let's define what matter actually is. Simply put, everything around us is made up of matter. Matter can be defined as anything that occupies space and has mass. So, what are the characteristics of matter? Firstly, matter is made up of small particles called atoms, which are constantly moving. These particles have spaces between them and are attracted to each other due to the force of attraction. Let's delve deeper into the characteristics of particles of matter. One interesting aspect is that particles of matter have space between them, which is why gases can be compressed so much. When sugar is dissolved in water, the sugar particles disappear in water because they adjust in the spaces between the particles of water. That's also why there is no rise in water level when you add sugar to water. Particles of matter also attract each other due to the force of attraction. This force of attraction between particles keeps them bonded together. The force of attraction is greatest between particles of solid, moderate between particles of liquid, and lowest between particles of gas. This is why we can easily move our hand through air, but not through wood. In fact, the force of attraction between particles of solid, liquid, and gas can be arranged in decreasing order as follows: solid, liquid, gas. Students, we know that science can sometimes be a little tough to grasp concepts, especially when it comes to understanding the practical side of things. That's why it's super important to check out the chapter notes for this chapter. And the good news is that EduRev provides chapter notes for all the subjects for Class 9. Now, let's talk about something that we encounter every single day of our lives but don't give much thought to: states of matter, which ranges from solids to liquids and gases. But what makes them different from each other? It's the characteristics of the particles that make up these states of matter. Let's delve deeper into the properties of these 3 states of matter. First up, solids. They are hard as a rock, literally. And just like this book, they don't like to change their shape or size. They are so stubborn. The solid state of matter has closely packed particles with very less space between them. The force of attraction between these particles is strong, making solids rigid and maintaining their shape even when subjected to external force. Solids cannot be compressed, and their particles have very low kinetic energy, resulting in an orderly arrangement. This gives solids a fixed shape and volume. Next, liquids. They are like the chameleons of matter, always changing their shape to fit in. In the liquid state, the space between particles is slightly more than in solids, but still very less compared to gases. The force of attraction between particles is strong enough to hold them together, but not enough to hold them in a fixed position. Liquids have a fixed volume, but not a fixed shape, taking up the shape of the container they are poured into. The particles in liquids have more kinetic energy than solids, leading to a disorderly arrangement of particles. Liquids cannot be compressed much. Lastly, we have gases. They are like the ghosts of matter. They are there, but you can't really see them. The force of attraction between particles is negligible, enabling particles to move freely in all directions, allowing gases to mix or diffuse into other gases. Gases have maximum kinetic energy, with particles moving at high speed in all directions, exerting pressure on the walls of the container. Gases have neither a definite shape nor a definite volume, and they fill up the container completely. Gases can be compressed easily, such as the LPG cylinders used at home or the CNG cylinders used in vehicles. With this, we finish with the introduction to matter, its characteristics, and its states. So, next time you pick up a pencil or take a bite of your favorite food, remember that it's all made up of tiny particles that make up the states of matter we have just explored. As you have understood the first part of the chapter, we will see you in the next video, which will cover changes in the state of matter and evaporation. You can now study chapter notes, watch video lectures, and solve MCQ tests of this chapter on EduRev to ensure you score well in your school exams. And that's not all, you also get amazing courses for maths, social studies, English, Hindi, and much more for class 9. Thank you.